I'd like to start off by saying Barakatah Yahweh, Ba'ashem Yahushai, Ba'ashem Kudash. Welcome to another live lesson. The name of this one is We Have the Secrets. And pretty much this lesson was, or the title of this lesson was inspired by a video I was watching a little while ago. The brother Yeshaya from the Des Moines camp. Met the brother, cool brother, very high-spirited individual, you know. You could tell, as you could tell by his lessons, you know, and you know how, you know, he's like rapid fire, you know, he's one of the rapid fire type brothers. And he was going into a lesson dealing with the prophecies, and he mentioned something about the secrets or something like that. I can't really remember exactly how he worded it, but it gave me an idea to do a quick GMS on the move, you know, dealing with the secrets. And you know, it's no surprise that what we're saying is coming to pass. You know, the prophecies are popping like popcorn. It's coming to pass as we've said it, you know, would happen. And it's not because, you know, of his word, and has also given us the eye salve to be able to see the things that are happening, the things that are going on, and to report these things before they actually happen, you know. And that's the reason why we're able to see. The Lord said, surely the Lord's power will do nothing but he revealed the secrets unto his servants, the prophets. Now we say that we're, you know, the hopefully media elect, and you have people that have a problem with that, but nevertheless, that's okay, you know, because we're going to continue on, Lord willing, to continue to do what we do and report, you know, and teach this word, and continue to watch, you know, the words of Yahweh B'Shem Yahushai continually grow, and see the word spreading and getting more and more popularity, you know. It's getting, you know, hatred also, but that's all a part of it. You know, Yahushai got mostly hatred, you know, for his good deeds that he was doing, you know, and that's what it is. That's how it's going to be. So as you see these prophecies popping off, you know, and they're going in the direction that we have spoken on, because the Lord Yahweh B'Shem Yahushai allowed us to see these secrets, you know, and to reveal them. And we were catching a lot of flack back in 09 and 2010 from these different camps, you know, about the martial law, about the martial law, about the concentration camps, the FEMA troops, and the microchip, and all of these other different things. We was catching flack on it. We was being ridiculed, you know. But the same, because of the main group, well, a lot of different ones, but one of the main ones I remember is IUIC. You know, they were making mockery of us, and you would think that by now Bishop Nathaniel, you know, would be susceptible to pay attention to what's being said, you know, by Yahweh B'Shem Yahushai through his prophets, beginning with Elder Apostle Tahar, because back then ridiculed us on the Cornelius thing, and now the majority of Israel is teaching that Cornelius is an Israelite, the very thing we got kicked out of the school for. So you would think that after that he would say, you know what, let me pay more attention to what these individuals are saying, because I was wrong way back then. It took him, what, like 10 years to figure out, 10 plus years, you know, to figure out, you know, that Cornelius was indeed an Israelite, you know. So you would think he would be more circumspect and paying more heed and more attention, but he was getting worse and worse, you know. Now that the evidence is overwhelming on the MOTB, and you see legislation being passed, you see mandates being passed for this, you know, for Crown Vicky, you know, out there being pushed. This is only going to lead to the mandatory implementation of that chip, you know, because the At first, when it came out, everything was voluntary. Now everything is starting to be mandatory. And they said that because people were saying, well, the government's going to make it mandatory to do this and to do that, to do the other. So what did they do? They flipped it. They spiritually flipped it around and said, no, the government ain't going to be the ones that make it mandatory. It's going to be the businesses that are going to make people take these things in order for them to be functional and operate. Well, who the hell do you think owns these businesses? These businesses are owned by the higher ups, the international banking families that hold sway over all of these big businesses that are influencing the government and the so-called senators and leaders to pass this legislation that'll be beneficial for them, because it's all a part of pushing their agenda. So what they do is whenever you figure something out, they try to deviate, go a different way. Like when you zag, they zig. When you zig, they zag, so to speak. And all for the purpose of pushing forward their agenda. And that's what you see going on. What's going on? I just watched a video of this Edomite woman. She was speaking about how she lost her job because they made the Crown Vicky mandatory at a job, and if they didn't get it by the next day, they were out of a job. So pretty much she's out of a job. The people at her job that refused it, don't have a job. And pretty much what she's saying, or what she was saying, is that there's going to be an uprising, because what's going to happen eventually is these Edomites who live by the gun, that's their blessing, are going to make an uprising against the government, because there's going to be as we have mentioned before, there's going to be race wars, there's going to be class wars, there's going to be a lot of events that are going to be taking place, especially as the grip gets tighter, and desperation starts to set in. That word desperation is a very volatile word, because when people get into that desperate state, they'll do anything for survival. Like Gerald Celente always says, when people have nothing to lose, they lose it. And that's the truth. So they're pushing people into a corner. They're cutting off supplies. They're making Edomites and different other people that work at these different jobs get rid of food, on purpose, kill cattle on purpose. In other words, waste it, spill oil and different things of that nature on purpose, so that these resources do not get to the majority of the public out there who counts on these things to live their day-to-day lives. Because in this supply chain, you have approximately about 3 days worth of supplies. At the gas station you might have a little more than 3 days or a week or 2 weeks or whatever the case may be. But for the most part, the most important essential things, which is food, and water, they have a limited resource. And now that they're cutting things off, and you go to the supermarket, you see that they're moving products around on the shelf to make it seem like the shelves are full, but when you really look behind it, they're really empty. So it's a facade that they, so that people don't panic. Because when people start panicking, they start to panic buy. And this is where the famines are going to come in, as the scriptures speak about. This is where the uprisings, because you already have uprisings against the government, but you're going to have uprisings of people fighting against other people for survival. They're going to violate people's rights, because, like the scriptures say, for a lack of bread. They're going to come in with, the ones that are stronger than the other people, and that have nothing because they didn't prepare. The ones that have it and can't defend against it are going to be taken out. They show you that in many different movies. The Book of Eli, The Road, and things are going to get worse and worse. So the Lord has given us the secrets, of these things that are happening, and that's the reason why we're able to report it. It's nothing special. It's special in the sense of, receiving the mysteries of the scriptures. That's special and beautiful. But it's not because we're so wise that the Lord gave us these things. It's because the Lord just gave it to us. And Barakatah Yahweh Shemel Shai for that. So we're, coming to, everything's gonna come to a head. you know. And the closer we get to the end, the more intense it's going to be, the worse it's going to get. We've been accused of fear mongering, which is another word no different than terrorists or terrorism, or you know, or conspiracy theorists, you know, which back in the 60s and 70s it was a communist, you know, so on and so forth, socialist. You know, today they're just on same labels but just under different names, you know. And people are going to know, because eventually the prophets are going to be known. The scriptures say that then shall be known who are my chosen. So if when truly indeed we are the prophets, it's going to be made manifest, you know, before this whole shithole goes up in flames, you know, because the prophets are back. You know, the prophets will be prophesying, you know, and the world is going to know who the prophets are. You know, we hope and pray that we are those men, that we are the elect, you know, even though the Lord got us doing a lot, you know, work, you know, all the brothers in Great Millstone doing, you know, I mean, carrying heavy loads, you know, doing this work, we still are hoping to be a part of the elect, because we don't know for sure, you know. But when the time comes, it's going to be revealed who are the elect and who's not. It's going to be revealed who has the truth and who doesn't have the truth, you know. And all of the charlatans and all of the, you know, the hucksters and all of the jive turkeys are going to be made manifest, just like the men of the Lord are going to be made manifest, because the scriptures say that my servants shall eat, you know. So there's going to be individuals out there that have been playing around, faking the funk, you know, not taking this word seriously, taking it lightly, as the scriptures say, and they're going to be in a bad position, because the Lord said that my servants shall eat. You know, a servant of the Lord will be out there, you know, teaching the word of the Lord, prophesying, speaking about these things, not taking time off, you know, not giving the younger men the helm to teach this word and carry the load. The men of the Lord, the servants of the Lord, will be there, you know, pushing just as hard as the younger men that's out there that came in at the 11th hour or at the 9th hour or whatever the case may be. You know, you have different levels to this thing, but we're all working for that same penny, and that penny is a representation of the kingdom of heaven, you know, which we're all going to receive if we hold firm to the end. He that endureth to the end, the same shall be saved. Give diligence to make that calling and election sure, you know. And you know, the closer we get, the more evident it's going to be. And now that things are the technology that's out there and everything is pushing closer and closer for the MOTB to be made manifest, which has already been made manifest, you know, it's everything is leading to the chip, you know. And this Crown Vicky venomous jab that people are getting, you know, it's all a prelude to the chip, you know. And that's where we're at right now in prophecy, you know, where the technology, as it says in Daniel the 12th chapter, was going to increase, you know, and people were going to be put in a pretty bad predicament as to not being able to buy or sell unless they took that M, you know, the MOTB, you know. And it comes with a number, you know. It's all set up in numbers, you know, which is the 666. As you heard Sanders, I forgot his first name, Sanders, the one that invented the so-called chip, the RFID chip. He said there's 18 bits and there's 3 sets of 6 bits in, you know, in those 18 bits within that microchip, you know. So it all, you know, it all adds up, you know, and everything is leaning towards that. So the only reason why I could see that these leaders are not on board with it, being that the evidence is so overwhelming, is either they sold out or they're just that blind. Like the scriptures say, if our gospel be hid, it is hid to them that are blind, in whom the God of this world has blinded the mind of them which don't see. Because if they accept if they accept the gospel of Yahushua, they will be healed. You know, their eyes will be opened up, they will be healed, and they would be in a position to where they can warn, you know, the rest of Israel out there, because that's our job, is to warn the sheep, to feed the sheep, feed the lambs, warn them of what's coming, build the hedge up, give them the hope, you know, through the names and power of Yahweh B'Shem Al Shai, what to do when these things come. because you're gonna have to run for refuge to something. Even Bob Dylan, that devil, you know, which he might be a Jake, but he's Satan. He said, you're gonna serve somebody. You're either gonna serve the Most High or you're gonna serve the devil. You know, what's it gonna be? And the scriptures already tell us that this world was given to the spiritual demon Satan, and then he'll give it to whoever he wants to, but you have to bow down to him. And that's why you see these people that make it in this society. They're not making it in this society because they have so much talent. You know, they're making it in this society because it's not just about talent. It's about, you know, bowing down to Satan and doing his will. You know, and these international banking families, these corporate, you know, or these different businesses that are owned by the international banking families, whether it be movies, whether it be CEOs or Wall Street or, you know, entertainment world, whatever, you have to bow down to them and do certain things in order to get the benefit or reap the benefits of this world. You know, so that's, you know, that's where it's at. You know, and in these last days, there's going to be a separation made between those that serve the Lord and those that don't serve him. Those that are teaching the truth and those that are not teaching the truth. And when we say we have 100% truth, because I just want to say this in closing, there was an individual that put a comment on Apostle Tara's video, which he just did a video on it, and he said that if you think you have 100% truth, you're deluded, or something along those lines. And we never said that other groups out there don't have truth. They do have truth, but they don't have the 100% truth, and that's the point, you know. And it's not about having 50% or 60% or 80% or 90% truth. You have to have 100% truth, you know, or nothing at all, because no lie is of the truth. So if there's any lie in it, it's leaven, little leaven of the whole lump, you know. So I pretty much told him, look, keep your head buried in the sand. And I put 1 Corinthians 14:38, he that is ignorant, let it be ignorant still. And then Apostle Tahar put the icing on the cake where he told him, you know, look, you know, when he did the video, that these other groups out here are teaching that Jake is Israel. They're teaching certain truths, but they're not teaching 100% doctrine. And that's the point. You know, you have to teach the 100% doctrine. You know, you can't just teach what you want to teach. You know, and that's why these individuals coming up and just getting the truth and then putting their own spin on it, starting their own thing, because they don't want to come up under the order, you know, because, you know, they want to do their own thing. They're coming up some other way. You know, they're in danger of building on another man's foundation and building wrong, you know. And every idle word that men shall speak, they're going to give account thereof in the day of evil, and that day is coming, you know. So, you know, I just wanted to say that real quick. Like I said, I was watching the brother's video, Yeshaya from Des Moines, and it inspired me to say a few words, you know, on that, you know, that we have the secrets, and that's the reason why the things that we're saying are coming to pass, because they're the words of Yahweh Bashem Yahushai. So we're being justified by the words of Yahweh Bashem Yahushai and not of our own self. All right. So with that, you know, I pray that your brothers have been edified. Lord's will, I'm gonna do another lesson. I have a title for. I was actually on my way to do it now, but I just felt compelled to say a few words on that. So with that, Shalom.